What's up, all my truth seekers out there?
Yes.
Welcome back to the Truth Talks. Welcome back to another episode of the Truth Talks. I am Krayzie Bone.
I'm the bum Keef G.
Yes, indeed, and we have another, as we always do, another very, very serious topic tonight. You know what I'm saying? Tonight we're going to be talking about a topic that's really need to be talked about, a lot, and that's suicide.
Yeah, pay more attention to.
Suicide, you may know a friend or know somebody that was thinking about committing suicide, or maybe you yourself have maybe had thoughts of committing suicide. So we're gonna get into that topic today. I really had I had a friend, one of my friends, committed suicide. Actually, one of my he was my tattoo artist as well when I lived in Miami. And it was crazy, bro, because he actually did like most of my tattoos. Like most of my tattoos, when I first started getting tattoos, he actually did it. But I got so cool with the dude, like we became friends.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I always stayed in contact with him, even though I was out here in Cali and he was in Florida. And it's crazy because I called him. I was trying to get his number one day because I lost his number, and I called my dude. I was like, yo, I need Rob G's number.
Right.
And he was like, bro, I forgot to tell you, he committed suicide. I said, what? He said, man, the dude killed himself with an AK-47. I said, how is that possible? He was like, he used his toe to pull the trigger, they said.
Damn.
It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
And the reason, the reason was, I believe, was over a female.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a sad situation, so.
Yeah, man. Because I was really going to ask you what inspired you to kind of come up with the topic of suicide today. You know what I mean? You know, man, what I'm saying? I'm glad we're addressing something like this. I'm glad it was on your mind. The Lord put it on your mind.
Well, man, I wanted to talk about it because it happens a lot. And I was reading an article, which I'm going to be reading a lot from a few articles that I was researching on the subject.
All right.
And it was a lot of things I didn't know about it. You know what I'm saying? And that I think need to be out there.
Okay.
And it was just like, we get so many fans.
Yeah.
Coming up to us or talking to us on the internet saying that they were on the verge of committing suicide, and our music, or we helped them to like overcome those dark thoughts or those demons or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I think it's something definitely worth talking about.
Yeah, man.
Definitely, because like I tell y'all, this is Truth Talks. This podcast, if
yes,
we try to talk as much truth and as much about real issues as possible.
Yeah, we may clown sometime, but
oh yeah, we gonna clown
about
sometime,
5-10%. But overall,
when you're blessed to be given airtime like this, or outlet, or a stage,
beautiful platform.
When you're blessed to be given this kind, it's really important that you really pick and choose what you talk about when you have that kind of power.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I always stress it's very important. I always told myself, and I told God, I was like, if I ever get in that position, I'm gonna make sure I use it properly, even though I may have been a little distracted and off balance when we first started, and I was like, oh, look at all this.
Sure.
Well, let me get some of that. But when I matured and grew up and calmed down and realized, yo, you losing focus. You need to get back on track. You need to remember what you was put here for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why we here.
And what you say, I hope that resonate to a lot of cats. And you know what? That's definitely because it's not no preaching situation. This is a situation of like, I hope some of this kind of thing rub off on the cat or the dog, so that you can take these kind of things, inhale these, you know what I'm saying, into the life. You know what? Damn, things is probably like that. Let me look at it, because life is just how you look at things. Look at it a little differently like this here.
Real talk. So, like I said, I'm gonna be reading like some stuff like for some articles and like different articles I was researching. Yeah. Just to be accurate with everything I'm saying. So I just want to start off by saying suicide is a serious public health problem.
Hey, man.
And I'm not saying that this was said in 1999 by the U.S. Surgeon General David Satcher.
Good old David Satcher.
And when he said that, that actually marked the first time in history that a Surgeon General of the United States made suicide a public issue.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's a real issue, and it says that more people in the United States, more people in the United States are killing themselves than are being killed by other people.
Okay. Yeah,
it's real. It's real. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So and he declared suicide prevention to be a national priority.
So you mean in other places and stuff like that, United States is leading the whole pack?
Oh, come on, bro. We in the modern day Sodom and Gomorrah.
Man.
You didn't know?
Yeah, I kind of looking around. You can get anything over here. That's real.
Yeah, but it's really real when you look at like all the statistics. So I'm gonna start reading some stuff that I was researching.
Right.
It says that the suicide rate in the United States, which was 11.4 per 100,000 in 1997, is below the global rate published by the World Wide Health Organization in 2002, which was 16 per 100,000. So it rose.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The suicide rates worldwide have increased 60% in the last 45 years. In a single year, about 1 million people worldwide, commit suicide, take their own lives every year. And and they said the amount of suicides is one death every 40 seconds.
Yeah.
One death every 40 seconds. So if you sit here and put your clock on the seconds and let it go to 40, somebody just committed suicide.
And that's crazy,
That's crazy.
I mean, the way the whole, it's like, and I look at society. I've been watching and peeping and things. I don't know how close a lot of people would think that this ties into it. You know what I'm saying? But it don't matter because I know that to be true. The way that these images are always shown through music, through television, any audio, as long as audio and visual. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people base their life and their unhappiness like that on something that they didn't feel they shaped up to be. Whether it was, like you was talking about earlier, Leatherface in the garage. You're talking about, if you didn't live up to their parents' or the teacher expectation, which we'll get into that, you know what I'm saying, later on. But I mean, having high expectations and putting a lot of pressure on not just a child, but anybody, just the way that you intake it. And you don't think that if you don't have no belief system, which we'll talk about some things like that later on too in the show. But those kind of things contribute to people committing suicide when you feel like have no self-worth. Or another topic, my man say, trying to prove a point. And we'll get into that too in the show because we got a little bit of time,
Yeah, bro, yes. I mean, as you read these statistics, we can like talk about them and break them down. But it was like, as I was reading this, I was like, a lot of stuff I didn't even know. I was like, wow. I was like,
right.
Like for every 40 seconds.
Now that's crazy.
That's serious, bro. That ain't even a minute.
Yeah. It's damn near a mile car race or half a mile or what is that thing they do, the half a mile run or whatever? It's damn near that quarter mile.
Real. It says statistics, however, cannot tell the whole story. In many cases, family members deny that a death was a suicide. Moreover, it is estimated that for every completed suicide, between 10 and 25 are attempted, meaning those people attempt suicide, but they don't always work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know a person that attempted a suicide over a girl. He shot himself in the head, but he didn't die.
Right.
And his family was forced to. I mean, they had to put him on life support. But they had to take him off. They had to take him off life support.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was, but I think that's something people that's trying to attempt suicide don't think about. Like, what if I don't die?
Yeah, nah, shit.
That's something else to think about with the whole thing.
That's a whole. My city, I don't want to get into nothing like that. That's crazy though. Because if you do, I'm sure it's people that have attempted suicide and it didn't work. I mean, people try to slit their wrists all the time. Some people want attention, like you were saying earlier. You know what I'm saying? They do it to, and sometimes take it too far, trying to be, you know, getting even with a loved one or trying to show them they can't live without them. It's various reasons why people want to do that, you know.
Real talk. It says one survey found that 27% of high school students in the United States admitted that during the previous year they had seriously considered suicide. 8% of the group surveyed said that they had made suicide attempts. Other students have found that from 5 to 15% of the adult population have had suicidal thoughts at one time or another. Now, I could dig that, you know, because I ain't gonna even lie. You know, I got to keep 100 for real. I probably
run it to me right there.
I probably wouldn't have done it. You know what I'm saying? But when you out on when you know, like coming up how we came up, you know, and like I'm talking about, we came, but Bone came from dirty nothing.
Right. From
dirty nothing. You know what I'm saying? And it was the nothing was dirty too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like when you in those situations, I'm talking about to the point to where I remember being homeless on the streets and like sleeping on niggas' porches and like just saying to myself like, what is my purpose? Like,
right.
Am I ever gonna be anything in life? Like, no lie.
Yeah.
But you know, I quickly snapped out of it. Like, you know what? Like, no, I'm not going. For one, I wouldn't even have the nerve to do it. I ain't gonna even lie. When it comes to suicide, I'm a bitch.
Yeah. Hey, ain't supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
Not doing it. I'm sorry.
You don't want to be a tough guy with that one.
No,
I'm telling you.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
I ain't doing it.
Nah.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
Yeah,
but you know what? Those is the breaks. Life come down. I'm telling you, life will kick you between your shoulder blades so hard, man. You'll be feeling like, you know what? There is no tomorrow and ain't no yesterday. Everything just seems like bad news. You know what I mean? But you know what? Sometimes them things in life, those things make you a shape to be the kind of person that, you know, God already see you could be. You know, I remember like when Ray Charles fell in that movie and his mama wanted to pick him up, but she was like, you know what, I can't just pick you up because this going to make you strong. And she cried like a mug too. Mm-hmm. But you know what I'm saying? She had to be like, you know what, I got to let him fall like that just so he can know he can get up too. Yeah. You know, so sometimes everything that happens in our life is not tragic. It may seem tragic, but I just lean it on God know what he doing in these situations. So, you know, if anybody listen with that kind of thing with suicide, if you're going through broke problems right now, if you're going through problems of, you know, having, you know, you found out you had a kid, you know what I'm saying, pregnant and you 14, 15 and all that kind of thing, you know, or whatever it is, as light as that test. Tell them about that test you was talking about, bro.
I mean, yeah. Bro, it's crazy because like when we get to that part, I want to talk about the different, you know, like why people commit suicide and like some of the reasons to us may seem like what, but when a person is going through that, like I mean, we're not in those persons, we're not in their mind, we're not in their head, so we don't really know what they're thinking or how seriously they're taking a certain issue that they may be going through. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and that's why reading these articles, like I said, it was some stuff I didn't even know.
Right.
Like it says, the way people view suicide varies. The way people view suicide varies greatly. Some view it as a crime, others as a coward's escape. Yeah. People say, "Oh, why you gonna kill yourself? That's all." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're running from your problems.
The easy way out of
something. You know what I'm
something.
saying? And you know, other people as an honorable way of death. And in some parts of the country, and they feel like they're apologizing for their blunders or their mistakes. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And their guilt drives them to want to correct that whatever mistake they made. Yeah. And they want to show people how serious they are about. But you know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
There was also honor of fall on their sword.
It's just crazy. Like reading this stuff made me think how crazy the mind thinks. And only an ignorant person will sit up and be like, why you do that? Like, that's stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, only an ignorant person, because that's not what a person needs at that time.
Not at that time.
And moment.
Not
you
at that time. Saying?
That's not what that's really not what
you wait till they heal up, and then, you know what I'm saying, then you sit them down later on one time and talk to them about that. Like, man, what the hell was on your mind with doing that? You know what I'm saying? But right then, you kind of need to, they don't need nothing else negative.
And it was saying that you have these different viewpoints because culture plays a major role. The culture plays a major role. You know what I'm saying? It says that culture may even influence the likelihood of suicide.
No, that's true.
Depending on where you're born and raised, you know what I'm saying? On what you're born in.
Yeah.
What you're born into.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Think about all the young kids that's born into abusive households where they have never seen nothing but abuse. And they like, if this is what life is, I don't want to be here.
Sure. Then and not to mention, you got music that condones the lifestyle too. You know what I'm saying? Said by my man Solo. But I mean, that kind of thing combined with it when you listen to music that encourages that too. You know what I'm saying? You watching television, films and shows that encourage it. Actually, for a point in time, it made it look kind of, I remember in the 90s or something like that. I'm old shit. But girls it used to be kind of almost like, a thing that young girls did that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? I kept reading about that. They'd be slitting their wrists and shit. You know what I'm saying? That was something that was just a thing to do.
I read that in India, it was once a religion custom known as suti. I think I'm saying suti. And it says, although this practice in which a widow throws herself on the funeral pyre of her husband has long been prohibited, it's still not quite extinct. When a woman reportedly committed suicide in this way, many of the local people glorified the tragedy. According to India Today, that religion of India has seen nearly 25 women burn themselves on their husband's prize in as many years. So, when you see people and they wrap the body and they put the body on like the thing and they set it on fire and it burns.
Yeah.
Their wives is
they go jump on him,
jumping on this, burning themselves alive
just to kick it. What they trying to do?
Just because and to think is people actually cheering them on. Talking about that's keeping it real.
Oh yeah.
That's keeping it 100. Yeah. No, it ain't.
Yeah,
not really.
Yeah, that ain't. I don't know what. See, different cultures, like you said, different cultures got a whole nother thing. I don't have know where that's at. That ain't gonna go on here. I know that. A lady ain't gonna run back in the house for a dude. It's on fire.
Now, it says in Japan, suicide claims 3 times as many lives as traffic accidents.
Suicide?
Yeah, suicide. Damn. Japan's traditional culture, which has never been Japan's culture has their tradition and their culture has never condemned suicide, and it's known and they're known for highly ritualized and institutionalized forms of self-disembowelment.
Yeah.
So they'll cut themselves open and let their intestines
from the rooter to the tutor
just fall out. It's like,
what is that for? Like some
man, and I'm going
honor?
over all this stuff because suicide is it's not just what you see or what you hear on the news here. It's like this problem is worldwide, and how they deal with it is what I found. It's what I found to be very, very interesting. Right. I'm like, yo, this is serious.
It really is, though. And you know what? It is different ones. I never looked at it to like how you saying this on the reels, because there is different forms of suicide. Different, and I'm not even encouraging nobody to do no suicide. But what I'm saying is, like I watched some of those old Asian movies. You know what I'm saying? And when the dude, like the samurai dude, know he did something or whatever it is, he fall on his sword. You know what I'm saying? That was a form of suicide, and just different army dudes do it when they finna get captured. I guess they don't want to get captured, whatever it is, and I don't know. But that's a whole different conscious one of somebody, a 13 or 14-year-old girl, like how we always saying, at school getting bullied or whatever it is, going into something like that, Because that's crazy.
Back in the Middle Ages, in the mid ages, they say, warriors used to expiate their crime, apologies for errors, and escape from disgrace, redeem their friends, or prove themselves sincere by committing suicide.
Oh, they don't look at me as a lie then.
On those movies where they be fighting, and then the dude lose, he be like, give me an honorable death.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, wait, man, I lost, man. I
lost. I'm going home with this.
I'll come back another time to fight you. I lost this time.
The hell is an
Real
honorable
talk.
death, though? And some people want that. You're right about that thing. And is that considered suicide, or is it niggas tripping? I don't know what that is, bro.
I don't know, but in the Catholic, on the other hand, suicide was viewed as a crime.
Okay.
It was viewed as a crime, and in the 6th and 7th century, the Roman Catholic Church excommunicated the people that had committed suicide and denied them funeral rites. So if you committed suicide back in those days, they wouldn't even allow you to have a funeral.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't allow you to have a funeral. And it says some places, religious fervor has bred strange customs regarding suicide, including hanging the dead body and even driving a stake through the heart.
Damn, that's Dracula's things.
Yeah, I'm like, what does that do? Like, the person needs help for trying to commit suicide. He don't need you to. No. This is when a person is already dead. They hang the dead body.
Okay.
And drive a stake through the heart for what purpose? I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know what that would be about. You know what I'm saying? It probably is I'm telling you, something from that type of era. I have no idea, but I can see why they're against it, because that is like, that's kind of like taking the wheel that you don't own by grabbing the wheel of life or making that decision.
They said the people that attempted suicide could incur the death penalty for trying to kill themselves by cutting their throat. No. It says a 19th century Englishman was hanged because he tried to slit his throat. But he didn't die. So because he didn't die, they hung him and they killed him.
For attempted murder.
Yeah, no, right, because he tried to kill himself. They killed him because he survived. I'm like, what does that teach?
That don't teach nothing, man. You can't. Hold on. What kind of lawyer did this do? This ain't even funny, though, bro. This is crazy.
It's the Catholic Church, though.
Wow.
It's the Catholic Church.
So the dude hung himself. It didn't work. Then he had to go to jail. Get hung for hanging himself. The crime was on him for committing the crime on himself. That's crazy.
Yeah,
They're serious down there.
And then you have the assisted suicide for the terminally ill.
Okay.
You get, and this is a ways to end your life. This is a way to end your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you suffering from something like, cancer.
Yeah.
They have it in, if I'm not mistaken, they have it in the state of Washington and a few other states.
Where it's banned, where they don't do it.
No, where you can go there if you're suffering from a terminal illness and you don't have long to live, and you they'll finish off the rest of your life for you.
Okay, so there's a difference, because I'm tripping off this. So you have to be in the hospital where they say we're gonna pull the plug, versus if you feel like you're kind of too sick and you're walking around.
No, this choice is solely yours.
Okay. Oh, okay. So if you just walk in there today, if a dude ain't in the hospital,
right.
Okay.
Right. So for people, it was created for people that's terminally ill, that's suffering, going through pain or whatnot, and they decide they don't want to do it no more. You know what I'm saying? But the problem was they said they had a lot of people coming in that wasn't terminally ill. They was just had something that they didn't want to deal with. Okay. And they just take my life away, like for real. Not even really knowing if they would get better, or they would right. They just got tired of suffering and going through whatever they was going through. It is what it is. But then we got to ask ourselves, bro. You got to ask yourself, to everybody that's out there that may be contemplating it, you have to ask yourself, is suicide really the answer to your problems? Or is it good reasons to keep on living? I could think of a lot of good reasons to keep on living, but everybody's life is different,
Man, I know the answer to suicide ain't the answer to the problems, It's crazy.
You know, each way to suicide is its own, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know, like we said earlier, ain't no telling what a person is going through to bring them to that point. You know what I'm saying? To bring them to that point to wanting to take their lives. But you know what I'm saying? It is I want to talk about why people give up on life.
Okay.
Why people give up on life, because it's very interesting, bro, what I was reading. Because somebody said it is suffering to live. This was said by a popular writer in the early 20th century in Japan.
Okay.
They wrote that shortly before committing suicide. However, it says he prefaced that statement with the words, "Of course, I don't want to die, but period.
Yeah.
So basically stating a lot of people who take their life, they don't want to die as much as they want to end whatever is going on with them. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not life itself they're trying to get away from. They're trying to escape the things that's going on, the negative things that's going on in their lives.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's basically,
talk to him, Face.
That's basically what it comes down to. You know what I'm saying? They're not trying to get away from life. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Dude, point that out. You know what I'm saying? Not even stop, just pause real quick on that, because to point that out may really help somebody who, you know what I'm saying, hearing this show or going to hear it, you know what I'm saying, in whichever way. You know, because if it's just life that you're not unhappy with and it's just a problem, my man said problems can be fixed, or you can work it out and learn to deal with that kind of situation. That little problem doesn't have to overshadow the whole view that you have of this world.
That's real talk. And in most suicide notes, bro, you see stuff like this. And in the majority of the suicide notes, you see people saying, I don't want to live like this anymore.
And that's the key, like this.
Yeah, I don't want to live like this no more. I can't take it anymore. It's better off, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's not life. Because like you said earlier, if you take all this away, life is beautiful.
Now I'm chilling. I'm
alive, I'm breathing, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like the things that go on in our lives, you know what I'm saying?
Pressures.
The pressures. Some people take them way more serious than others.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is overwhelming. You know, we ain't on no soapbox, even though we on Digital Soapbox Network, but we ain't on no soapbox saying, you know, what maybe I can take that you can take, because certain things go to a person, you know, one person may lose a loved one and take it totally different than the next, his brother or one of his siblings or cousins or whatever it is, you know?
Definitely.
So we can't rate how nobody's supposed to bounce back from life, but what we is saying, give God a chance with this situation, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Real talk.
That's, you know, that's
Real
only,
talk.
you know.
And these situations, the reasons people commit suicide, you know, like the reasons vary. You know what I'm saying? It's certain events in a person's life. It's certain events in a person's life that even triggers this.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? And it's some of it is serious, and some of it is so minor you'd be like, huh? Like,
yeah.
Like with kids, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But it's crazy, you know what I'm saying? Because like the things that trigger these events, you know, like for young people, you know, when they feel like they hurt, or they feel like, you know what I'm saying, they can't do anything about it, they may view, you know how you get mad. Bro, and this is how kids think. They can get mad at the simplest things and take it so serious. Just like I was reading, like I saw something on the news about this little boy, and he was trying to tell his mother, he was like, I can't go to school without my homework because my teacher said if I come to school again without my homework, I'm going to get in trouble.
Right.
Now, to an adult, this is minor.
Very minute.
Minor. But to this kid, that's going into this classroom, and you don't know what kind of, this could be a teacher that put kids on blast.
Yeah.
They like to embarrass kids. I had a few of those teachers where if you wasn't ready, they put you on blast.
Yeah, that's real.
Right in front of the crowd, you know, right in front of the classroom.
Same
you know what I'm saying?
crowd too.
They put you on blast. So, in this child's mind, he was 11. This child's mind, he's thinking. Remember, kids' brains ain't developed
Totally
all
different.
the way yet. So in his mind, he's thinking, this is going to be a tragic day for me.
All right.
Everybody is going to laugh at me. I'm going to get in trouble. But his mother wasn't thinking like that. His mom said, boy, if you don't get your ass dressed and be ready by the time I come back in here, it's going to be something.
Right.
So feeling that pressure on top of that, I'm doomed anywhere it go.
Yeah.
I'm doomed.
Ain't no window.
In the kid's mind, I'm doomed anywhere it go. She say by the time, when she came back here to get him to take him to school, he was in his closet hanging, dead. Dead. It was, bruh, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
And that's, damn. And that's why I'm glad you point that out too, because a child's world, you know what I'm saying, is real. His problems, it may seem like it's in a small little thing, but his world is big. And his world, bullying and, you know, talking your clothing and, you know, especially what you said, not having your homework being put on blast and things like that, asking for a girl to you like her and she dog you real quick at a young, all that kind of situation for these young people, they take very seriously. You got to monitor these kids, check out, because that's real what my man just read off. That wasn't from a television show. You know what I'm saying? That was something from and I know we ain't even on the parent like that, because I know if they could rewind that they would, but it just gives other opportunities for parents to take it like, you know what? Let me take seriously what my young daughter or my son's going through. Let me take a minute to see about this instead of just always want to be so tough on them or teach them some lesson or hustle on, let's go. Because sometimes we got to stop and listen to these little kids because they saying something, G.
Right. And if you don't, a kid could feel so hurt to the point they feel like they can't do nothing about it. So, like I said, his mother got at him. Like, you know, a kid could be so hurt to the point they feel like, okay, they may view their own deaths as a means of getting back at the people that hurt them.
Then that's a whole nother kind of suicide, huh?
You know what I'm saying? And like, you know what? Not even kids though.
Adults, yeah,
Adults too.
yeah. I've heard of that a lot of times.
You know, I've just seen situations where dudes like, oh, you gonna leave me? Okay.
Yeah.
It's crazy, bro.
Multiple suicides. It was one in your complex.
But just
about
like you
6
said
years
earlier,
ago.
you was like, just like you said, you was like, how could you? You ain't gonna even be here to know if they feeling bad about you.
Yeah. You didn't get to see the results at least, like, you know how they, you know, say like, damn, he done did it, you know, whatever.
Yeah, you know,
or she done did it, trying to prove a point.
You ain't gonna even be there to see. You know what I'm saying? So it's bro,
give it another day. Just probably give it another day, man.
Yeah, bro, exactly. So you know, so through their own death, you know, kids can sometimes, you know, cherish an inner urge to punish the person that made them feel hurt. You know what I'm saying? Yes, indeed. Got my dude in here, man. You said you had an experience.
Yeah,
you know, with two of your friends, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, man, Gabriel, y'all tell me your name. Where you from, man?
What's up? My name's Gabriel Paxton. I'm from everywhere, kind of. You know, I was born in New York, moved to India, a couple other places. Been just, you know, hopping around. Wow. But yeah, man, I was telling you earlier, when I was a senior in high school, I was a part of this camp, and the camp was originated in Venice High School during a lot of gang violence. So the camp was for people at the school to go up there and kind of get rid of their problems, and everybody would come together and they would talk about what was going on. So it's kind of like this group for people to just come talk about everything that was going on in your life.
Okay.
So you know, I had been through stuff, and life was very interesting. So I had a lot of wisdom to share with all my peers, and I became a counselor at this camp. And because of that, I had 10 people to kind of watch over during the camp during these 3 days. And during that time, we all became very, very close. And they told me about all, you know, everything that was going on. And, you know, the one thing that I learned, we were talking about, you know, like, you know, this child, how he committed suicide. Everything is a matter of perspective, right? So for that kid, that was the end of the world. You know, for all these other people, the reasons why they commit suicide. It's like you can't compare somebody else's pain to another person's pain, because to that kid, it's like them, skipping over something, then falling, hitting their leg. That could be super painful. Wow. And then to some guy, some kid that lives in India, breaking their leg could be just as painful. It's like, so it's really hard to compare these things. But anyways, after that camp, I got really close to these people, and they would text me and tell me how they were doing, and I really cared about them, because I wanted to be there as a support. Yeah. Because one of the reasons I see why people commit suicide is because in life you have life is filled with relationships, right? And one of the things that is so beautiful about life is those relationships. So kids that have horrible parents, it's that relationship with life, not having the ability to, have that love in their life. So they get rid of that, right? So if I can be there for someone and have a, relationship that brings beauty and love to their life, then that's another reason for them to live.
Right.
So it was Thanksgiving, and I was in Vegas visiting my grandma. And I'm sitting there at the table, and I get a call from someone. And I know that I have to pick up this phone, because somebody wouldn't be calling me, during Thanksgiving for no reason.
Yeah.
And I answer the phone, and it's a friend of mine. And I'm not going to say she or he, but this person was, shivering on the phone, like, damn. Gabe, like,
yeah. That's crazy.
Kind of like going with, I didn't really comprehend what this person was saying.
Exactly.
And then I realized that I found out that this person was, in their closet, and their family was in the living room eating. And I asked her, oh, there we go. We can just cut that out. But I asked, like, what are you doing by yourself? You're supposed to be with your family. And I realized that this person didn't want to be with them because they had no relationship. It's this day, Thanksgiving, and this person was so sad to the point where they felt like they had nothing. That they were going to go out there, and depending on what the dynamics were between that family, I don't know what had happened between this person and everything that would go on, but I imagine that it was painful enough for this person to go in their closet, take a whole bunch of pills.
Damn.
And the point was to die and to overdose. And I've thought a lot about why, because this has been like a thing where people call me when they're trying to kill themselves. And I think it's because it's, you want to speak to somebody that can give you and share love and beauty with you. And so in that moment, I realized that if they have, they want everything to stop. They want to give up. But they also want to find a reason to continue going on. Mm-hmm. So they reach out for that reason. So that's what I did. I tried to, talk to them and tell them, life is also about endurance. In that moment, things may seem really bad, but if you can show them the bright side that, you go through this and you can accomplish everything that's in, right in front of you right now, then 5 years, maybe not a month from now, but 5 years or soon, you're going to be a whole lot stronger, and life is going to be fucking easy for you.
Right.
It's about gaining that fucking strength. So this person ended up telling me where they were, and, got the paramedics there, and, she was all right.
Wow. So that's a relieving story. So they survived.
They survived, and
okay.
I check up on this person, and they're doing great.
I'm glad to hear that.
Oh yeah, because you can, and it's crazy you were saying that, because in this article it says a recent survey in Britain indicated that when children are subjected to severe bullying, then they are nearly 7 times as likely to attempt suicide.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
They didn't like in our day when we was bagging, Cray.
It says the emotional pain that these children suffer is real.
Yeah.
Don't never think it ain't.
This ain't that thing.
A 13-year-old boy hung himself, but he left behind a note naming 5 other people. Naming 5 other people of the people that was bullying him. And he also and they he said they used to bully him and they extorted him for money.
Oh, that's cold.
And he wrote in the note. You know what I'm saying, to use him as an example to save other children.
Damn.
Now that's deep.
Yeah, it is, because you know what, the school system really doesn't take that seriously.
Yeah.
Kids are not stupid, and you're right. Somebody here said that his parents wouldn't listen, and that's very important, for the parents, because when your kids are really like acting up and they like, they like I said, I saw somebody here said their kid had a meltdown. Those things you have to take seriously.
You got to, man.
Okay, so what's the reason you don't? Wait a minute. Like, what's the reason you don't want to go? Like, what's going on at school?
Yeah, man. Anything like that, take it seriously. If they run up to you talking about their head hurt, take it seriously. You know what I'm saying? When they're walking up saying they're getting bullied at school, take it seriously. Take that to the principal, even though they do not too much about it. You know what I'm saying? They're really not proactive about, for some reason. Because all over the United States, kids is getting bullied and killing themselves. So I don't know the ratio. I think Leatherface pulled up earlier, but I don't know the ratio, what it is of, children's suicide, man. Because
if you look at the reasons, bro, it's like I said, they may seem so minor to an adult. Yeah. But you have to remember, kids don't think like adults.
Nah, man.
Especially at 11, 12 years old, like they're thinking like children, because that's what they are. Even at the age of 16, 17, even up to 18, you're still thinking like a kid.
Yeah.
Until your mind matures.
And even when it matures, you're still susceptible to suicide, because you know what I'm saying. It's an entity that's pushing for you, kill, steal, destroy. Things of that type of nature, man.
Some of those minor reasons for kids be, trouble at school, or suffering at the end of a romance. Yeah. To even getting a bad report card.
Yeah. Or I think I'm pregnant, maybe. Yeah,
exactly. That's why.
They didn't ask me to the prom. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get a 4.0 or whatever. I didn't get into some on the real. Some didn't get into this school or that school, which their parents put so much pressure on them to do. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of thing comes from there trying to always prove yourself to somebody. That's why, hey, parents, if you're out there listening to this too, this for you. Don't put your kids under no thing or scrutiny of having to make them play up to you like that. Get them a little bit of room, man.
And then you think about adults, their reasons. A lot of adults commit suicide because, they may be lost their job. Yep. Financial problems.
Snaps.
Divorce. There was in the community where I live in a few years ago, there was this dude. That killed him. He killed his wife, his 3 kids. Yeah. And then he killed himself because he lost his job. They came from another country and he lost his job. He thinking like this, which I view as, I'm not trying to judge, but in my opinion, it was very selfish.
Oh, man.
Because just because you lost your job, who's to say your kids wouldn't grow up and be something better?
For real.
You had no right to take their lives just because your life you felt sucked.
For all that, man.
That's very selfish.
Wife, we about to downsize and take them out this school and go to another one, and we're gonna bounce back.
And that was back around the time when this recession was supposed to be going on.
Yeah, it was going on, but it's still.
And I was just sitting back tripping, like, I was just like, like me from my experience, a recession. You mean to tell me it was a time when it wasn't one?
Yeah.
For us. Yeah. There's always been a recession. We always been short.
We've always had food stamps.
Always been short. So it's like, but like it said, it's the culture plays this dude probably came from where he was used to always having.
Yeah, always. And it's
We come
embarrassing
from
to go
where
back
we
to
used
his.
to not having. So
Exactly.
when we don't have, we always made do. So it's no thing. Oh, I ain't got it. We gonna make do.
That's how stuff got invented. You know what I'm saying?
But it's never that serious, bro. To kill. Okay, if you want to do it to yourself, not even saying that's cool.
Nah.
You should even really think that out because it's not. It is not the end of the world. You can't get another job somewhere.
Because
Even if you got to move out your house, even if like you said, even if you got
Yep.
to downsize, even if you got to, it ain't gonna kill you to live in a smaller house.
show ain't.
For real, like, what the hell is going on? It's crazy, bro.
It sure won't do that, you know, and even getting to the point of, you know, because it be people on the verge of doing that kind of thing. They think it's over like that, but give God 24 more hours. I've seen people win lotteries. I've seen people get jobs. I've seen people get drafted in the next day. You know what I'm saying? To go somewhere, seen people just share with somebody. You know, don't get caught up so much off the things that you have to prove in this world or what somebody think about you for, you know, make you give you more fuel to your engine of trying to kill yourself, you know, because that option, see the reason why that option don't work, because your ass ain't here no more still. Like that's that. Like I can see if you broke something, you get taped up and healed up or whatever it is, you get, you know, sometimes something else things happen. But with that one, ain't no more coming back. And that's something that's going against, that's like looking God in the face, like you said earlier, man, like I'm going to disrespect the beautiful gift you just gave me. You know, I hope to make you look at it like that so it deters you from even doing something like that, because I want to see people flourish. I want to see families, man. I want to see kids. Y'all can grow up. I mean, bagging them is one thing, but you know, hey, man, little kids, man, lay off each other, man. Shit, y'all trying to live. Y'all know how y'all doing, too. Some of y'all might listen to this, too. You know what I'm saying? Bagging's one thing, but
and I feel like
punking that one little kid every day,
and that, you're
that
right,
ain't
right,
the
right.
thing.
And I feel like it goes on. I don't understand how teachers don't notice what's going on. I understand, like, the kid may not want to say anything because, you know, usually when you snitch, that's gonna pour it on even more. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I'm not understanding how this issue could be so relevant and ongoing even today that the teachers are not paying attention to it.
Yeah.
Well, I know why. They ain't getting paid enough, so they don't give a damn.
Hey, man,
They coming to get their paycheck
and get
dealing
on.
with these badass kids, and I'm going on about my business.
Hey, you know what? I'm glad you said that too, because that has a lot to do with it. Now, see, if somebody getting paid and they getting their snap, they got time to think about another kid, and I commend the teachers that do, because I'm sure everybody, it's a small percent that does pay attention to this subject, what we talking about right now too. Mm-hmm. But for the majority, the 99% or 98% that don't, that's trying to come get their check and just stab out because they ain't getting no money. You know what I'm saying?
Real tough.
These are the people you got to understand. I don't know how the hell teachers ain't getting paid the most, because they the most people that spend the most time with your child besides you. You talking about what? What is that? 8 hours? Well, let me see. Well, hold on. Let me do my math, because I'm looking for a math teacher. 8 o'clock we start school. 7 to 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. Man, that's 8 hours a day, man. Yeah, it's only exactly. What is it? Only 24 hours in a day, so that's what's a quarter.
Real tough.
Or something like.
Real tough.
You know what it is, man.
I found this next part in this article to be very interesting, because it talks about the underlying factors of why this suicide idea even comes up in certain people's minds. And it says, most minds, when healthy, do not construe any event as devastating enough to warrant suicide.
Nah.
So if you have a healthy mind and you stand positive, like these things that seem so detrimental and serious and life ending to some people seem like don't even bother some people. Like, okay, well, and I tell people all the time, like you have to learn that in life you're not going to be able to solve all of your problems.
Nah, man.
You're not going to be able to change everything that's wrong with your life. Some things you're just going to have to deal with it and just play the hand you was dealt. I was dealt a bad hand in life, I feel. but I played the hell out that day.
Yeah, that's right.
I played the hell out my hand.
Still playing mine.
You feel me?
I ain't got an ace in the
Played
deck.
the hell out of my hand.
Oh, you played your hand?
I ain't about to fold yet, nigga. No, not yet.
A lot of bluffing.
Y'all don't know what I got. Y'all don't know what I got yet, boy.
Word.
I'm telling you, boy, I got a surprise, baby. I'm telling you. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to, like I tell people all the time, if you can't control it, if it's out of your hands, don't stress over it. What you gonna do? You got to readjust. Don't spend all your time focusing on this one problem that you probably can't fix. Move on to the next one that you got control over and fix that.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? Leave that one for God.
But man,
real talk.
That's what I was just about to even say. Like sometimes God even set things up like that in life to have the underdog doing things. I don't know if y'all remember Muggsy Bogues, but he didn't say, "Man, I'm too short to ever dunk." No, that wasn't Muggsy Bogues. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Spud Webb, my bad. You know what I'm saying? Spud Webb, he ends up winning the dunk contest at 5'6", 5'7".
I was like, who the hell is Muggsy?
Yeah, Muggsy Bogues. You know, he played for Orlando Magic a long time ago. But he couldn't dunk. He was like 5'4". But you know, on the real, Spud Webb 5'7". You know what I'm saying? He's encouraging. You know what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say, if you see somebody that can do something like that, you can get inspired to do it too. Wait for your whole situation. You know, play your cards out because you never know what's gonna happen. Don't never say, "Man, I'm too short. I done seen some dudes. I done seen some dudes go up in the club that was like, "Damn, you just got out the thing," but his confidence put him on a situation, leave out with a dime or something. That's just how it goes because how your self-esteem feels about yourself. You know, for the big girls, and I like big girls too. You know what I'm saying? For them to wear what they feel like wearing and they comfortable, that's their self-esteem saying, I think I'm still somebody. So don't take it too far, but embody that shit.
Embody it.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
I mean, 100%, and sometimes people aren't even looking at these cards. They've got everything in front of them, and they're not even looking down.
That's real.
Yeah, man.
And
that's real.
You got to realize, you know, your position. You got to you got to look at those cards, realize your position, and then strategize. You know, that's why we have a brain. You got to use that intellect and understand. All right, if I was born rich or if I was born, born poor, then what am I gonna do about it? If I'm rich, all right, I gotta help people. This is how I'm gonna utilize these resources. If I'm poor, then all right, then I gotta read. I gotta do all this shit so I can excel beyond everybody else. Doesn't mean, you know, you should be doing what everybody else is doing.
Exactly.
And then you're just gonna be even worse off because we're all supposed to be original. You're just following the rest of the crowd, then you're gonna lose yourself.
Real talk.
Man.
That is real talk. Now,
look at your cards.
Some of these underlying factors that we was talking about, and you know what I'm saying. Some of these underlying factors which causes people for that thought to even come up into people's, you know, sometimes it may include mental and addictive disorders, genetic makeup, and brain chemistry.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Which is true.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
what about guilt? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
From,
drug abuse,
yeah.
drug abuse, alcohol.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? This could even escalate it. You know what I'm saying? It could even escalate it.
All that. It's a mixture between genetic predisposition and environmental factors expressing those genes. So
exactly.
if you have, you know, alcoholism in your family, like my father, he was an alcoholic, and there's addiction that runs through the blood, you know, and like one of the reasons why he died is because he overdosed. So I realized, all right, I can't be doing all that other stuff because it's in my genes. It's something that I'm born with. I shouldn't be going out and drinking. I shouldn't be going out, you know, doing all these other drugs because I am more inclined to actually be, you know, addicted to these things. And then that further relates to, all right, that could lead me on to depression as well.
Definitely. If anybody want to call up, Vamp Squad, y'all can call up and y'all can, Keith, what do you call it back?
Well, you can hit us up at 626-905-0926 if you're in the Bay Area, which I love the Bay Area, 626-905-0926.
Call us up if you've got any experience, you know people, or you might be thinking about it yourself, you know what I'm saying? You can call us up right now. while we on this topic. You know what I'm saying? But I want to read something else from this article. It says research in both Europe and the United States indicates that more than 90% of completed suicides are associated with such disorders as the ones we just mentioned, you know, drug abuse and stuff like that. It said, in fact, Swedish researchers found that among men who were not diagnosed with any disorders of that kind, the suicide rate was 8.3 per 100,000. But among the depressed, it jumped to 650 per 100,000.
Damn.
And experts say that the factors leading to suicide are similar in Eastern lands. Still, even the combination of depression with triggering events does not make suicide inevitable. Meaning, just because people, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, just because I mean, you could be depressed and you could be down and you could feel like, you know what I'm saying, because you know what I'm saying, you could feel like the world is against you, but some people just don't. Again, if your mind is healthy and you're going through these, you could be feeling like this.
Right.
Yeah.
But basically, if you have hope, some kind of hope.
Got to have that, man.
See, this is why the word hope and faith exist. People don't understand how strong these mere words are.
Gotta have those things, man.
Because if you don't have them, it's very, very hard to maintain in this world we live in. Trust me.
Yeah. I'd have been on the way out if I didn't have those two things what my man
Trust
talking
me.
about. If the good Lord didn't give me them things.
Right, so when you sitting here and you have no hope and you have no faith or anything,
Yeah.
you have nothing to live for. If you think this is it, who wouldn't
And you're right.
want to kill themselves? If I woke up every morning like this is all it is for me, even me being who I am, I wake up not happy sometimes. For real, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but if I didn't have a hope that things are gonna be better, it'd be like it'd be disastrous. You know what I'm saying? You have to have some kind of faith and hope,
Right.
because there's no way to sustain without that.
Ain't no way to sustain without that, man.
People seem to be able to bear and tolerate depression as long as it's a belief that there's a way out.
Right.
You can bear it. You can bear it. You can sustain it. You know what I'm saying?
With hope and faith.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, but it's a lot of people that feel like there's no way out.
Cray, not even stop. But you know what that feel like though? To try to vividly put it to you, hope and faith seems like if you want one of them sailboats, man. You know that when that gust of wind come inside your thing, man, that you just didn't expect, but you was counting on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hell yeah.
So it feel like that gust of wind, like that comes through like that. You know, it just give you right when you all down at the brakes and stuff like that too. You know, and it comes right in on you. So sometimes, I mean, you need that.
Got a caller?
Mm-hmm. Caller, you on the line? What's your name and where you from?
Well, hold on, we got a caller on the line. It's going down. We got a caller.
Okay, sorry about that. One more time, caller. What's your name and where you from?
It's Brand from the Bay. What's going on with y'all? Vamp Life.
What's up, girl? Vamp Live. What's
Vamp.
happening with it? What's going on with you?
What's going on, man? I'm just over here super hypey. First, it's my mama's birthday, so excuse my background.
It's all
But
good.
yes, the whole suicide thing, it's a lot of different factors. I love how y'all preaching on there. Like, I was a candidate twice for suicide. Like you said, once in high school, you know, the pressures of high school and, you know, all the little popularism and all of that. You had that. But as an adult, though, I went up it again against, it was basically like, you know, life get hard sometimes. And I was like, okay, it would be better for my kids if I wasn't here. Since I'm the problem, it'd be better for them if I wasn't here. But at that table, like, keep hollering about that faith and that hope. You feel me? Like, yeah, I got to meet, you know, I had a meeting at the round table with Jesus, Satan, and a couple other people. But yeah, I called on Buddha and I called on a lot of other people who say they, you know, gods and all of that. But nobody showed up. But Satan and Jesus, at the end of the day, Satan, God handed his business to him, so that's why I rock so hard. But yeah, I stand in for people who
I could dig
commit
that.
suicide.
That's
That's a rough spirit, and it's nothing but the devil. Like if I can get you out, because even now he be like, nigga, just kill yourself, and I be like, no, I'm just gonna go pray. I'm going into worship. Like, no, not. But that's a real issue. And our youth is affected a lot because my daughter, she hit me a couple times, and my prayer works. And I had to lace her, though. You feel me? I had to understand what it was in her time and her season and what she up against. And I couldn't just ride in my element. I had to understand and lead her through that, because that's real. Without our youth, we're nothing. And, it's sad, but the way that the world is going and the way that they teaching our youth is just not cool. They teaching them to fold. They teaching them to be weak. They teaching them when real stuff come. You know what I'm saying? Just kill yourself. That's what they teaching. And, like Pac said, no, you're supposed to give them the Mac and watch them spray they self. You feel me? You got to ride this through.
Real talk. Hey, everything you said is 100% truth.
Shit, I'm smiling so hard from the way you talking.
Hey, yes. Hey, yes. Hey, sis, thank you for calling us, man. We always appreciate your calls. Love hearing your voice on the air.
Yes, y'all too. Okay, I got to go back in here and listen to y'all. I love y'all.
All right, love you too.
All right, now.
All right.
Yes, indeed.
Man, that's dope right there. That's the Bay Area, man.
That's all 100, man. The fact is, and I'm going back to the article right now, so y'all follow me. It says the fact is, however, that nobody is destined to commit suicide. Millions of people cope with heartache and stresses. It's the way the mind and the heart react to pressures that lead some people to kill themselves. Not just the immediate triggering causes, but the underlying factors have to also be dealt with.
Right.
All this has to be dealt with. And it's cool. And it's cool to where we building up to, because the ending, I always love ending it. You know what I'm saying? Like what everybody needs to do. But yeah. But yeah, so now we're gonna move in. I want to move into, it says, the genders in suicide, basically talking about, men and women.
Okay.
It says, according to a study in the United States, while women are 2 to 3 times more likely to attempt suicide than men.
2 to 3 times.
Men are 4 times more likely to succeed. Meaning, women try, but sometimes they fail. But men more likely to succeed. To achieve what they're doing.
Damn.
Women are at least twice as likely as to men to suffer from depression. Women are at least twice as likely as men to suffer from depression, which may account for the greater number of suicide attempts.
Yeah.
However, their depressive illness may be less violent, and thus they may turn to less violent means, meaning to kill themselves.
Right. Men,
on the other hand, may tend to a more aggressive and decisive means to make sure they succeed.
Oh, yeah. Because, see, usually when a man kills himself, that's why women have the high ratio, but men succeed more because they kill themselves because of a lot of things, financial or whatever it is. They don't want to look like this bad or this way. But usually, like, men, when women sometimes even over their weight, I've seen women trip off their weight so much, man, look so beautiful. Be like, man, what is you doing, G? You know what I'm saying? How'd you get that in your head where you want to kill yourself because you think you fat or you think you skinny? Sometimes, most of the time, a dude don't even think that way. Like, dude could be fat and just still keep mobbing. You know what I'm saying? Go get females and all that. You know what I'm saying? It's rare that a dude feels like that. So I guess a dude does kill himself much more because, much like we were saying earlier, financially, not living up to expectations or able to take care of the household. You know what I'm saying? Not thinking he's what I'm supposed to be at 50 or 45 or whatever it is, because this world will paint a picture for you, man, with that picket fence and all that, G, that you're supposed to be and have achieved this at this point in age. Man, don't listen. I just watched, this is the last thing I'll say on this, I just watched that dude with the tattoo on his chest with the Cobra thing. He didn't get into movies till he was like 41 years old, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just got out of jail. He's doing an extra just to go get the $50 a day. You know that dude to be in all them movies with the shirt off and stuff like that. Danny Trujillo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ain't that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. Him.
Yeah. Who?
Danny Trujillo. He got that restaurant we had them drinks at by that Anyway, you know the Mexican dude, man, with the ponytail to be in all the movies, gangster dude.
Who was in Machete?
Hey, Machete, Machete. Hey, dog, he played extra. But what I'm saying is, he didn't start acting till 41 years old, man. I'm just saying things can happen, and he a big old star. Yeah. He in more movies than he getting cake.
Look at Robin Williams.
And I ain't never seen Morgan Freeman young.
Robin Williams committed suicide.
With everything.
You know what I'm saying? He was one of the most successful, had a long run.
Oh, man, you talking about a funny man, man.
But success.
Jim Belushi, right? Also, too.
No, he didn't commit
overdose.
Suicide, did he?
Yeah, he overdosed, but I don't think that's not the same,
Anthony Bourdain as well, just recently.
Suicide, right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it's like people. It don't matter what. It don't matter what. I mean, it could, because the majority of the people, but you see more people. You see more people in poverty-stricken situations, or or you know what I'm saying. But depression can hit anybody, bro. You can have everything in the world. You can have everything in the world, a lot of friends in your life.
Yeah, and feel lonely.
It's possible to feel lonely in a crowded room.
And that's what I trip off of.
Very, very possible to feel lonely in a crowded room. You know what I'm saying? It's no joke. You know what I'm saying? For real. Like they say it's lonely at the top. That saying is said because you could be at the top, and although all these people may be around you, you know they fake.
Yeah.
You know they're fake. And when you really need that friend to lean on, it's hard to find them through all those people that's up there just, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Just grabbing at you just because of who you are.
That's true.
Being a celebrity that shit ain't all hunky-dory like people think, son. I don't care what nobody think. Like, you know what I'm saying? People be wanting this shit. People be wanting this shit. But I'm telling you, bro, like this shit is not, it ain't all that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's cool. It's cool. Like when, you know what I'm saying, like when we was younger, nigga, we soaked it up. Hey,
yeah.
What, they know me? They know, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying, now it's like, nigga, look here, chill out, I'm trying to eat.
It could put something on your mind state, right?
Yeah, bro, real talk, you know what I'm saying? But
a paranoia, would you say, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, like you were saying a little bit earlier, like everybody feels they want to, you know what I'm saying, something from or this and that could make you a celebrity feel lonely, and
that's why
listen to the same statistics in China.
Lay it on me.
It says in China, however, more women than men succeed in suicide. In fact, a study reveals that some 50% of the world's females' suicide occur in China.
Yeah.
56% of women's suicide occur in China.
Now I can see that one.
Especially in rural areas. It is said that one of the reasons for impulsive female suicide attempts leading to completed suicides there is the easy access to lethal pesticides.
Damn.
So they can just go grab, I don't know what.
Some pesticides. You know what? In one of them countries, I don't know exactly which one, but one of them countries, they don't really want no girl. They really want a boy. You know what I'm saying? No. So there's a lot of pressure on
China.
So is that what we're talking about?
No. That ain't the reason.
Oh.
No. But that's not suicide, though. Like, that's people.
Oh, okay.
You're only allowed to have, one child in
and
China.
it's also like in the cultivistic cultures like China, it's more favorable to be a man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's a lot of, that's what I'm saying. They're going to kill themselves. There's a lot of pressure on a girl.
But you're only allowed one child.
You're only allowed to have one child in China because of the population.
Oh, so if a girl, you really want to be like.
Men that want boys to carry on their lineage.
Yeah.
They give the girl away.
So
if they find out they having a girl, they have it aborted. And they keep trying for a boy.
That's cold right there. So I can see why suicide would be up, because if you're a girl over there born, you like, I'm not worth nothing. My dad, my mom looking at me like they sad they had me.
Real talk. It's crazy. So I want to move into the next little thing in this article. It says suicide and loneliness. That's a major part.
Yeah.
Loneliness is one of the factors that lead people to depression and suicide. You know what I'm saying? It says, for a great number of those who have committed suicide, everyday life was lonely. They had lots of spare time, but few social contacts.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It says, isolation was behind the recent surge in suicides by middle-aged men. in that country. That's serious.
Just so being by yourself and isolated, you know what?
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah,
It really can. Being lonely, because that's why I say a lot of people that's elderly or whatever it is, people like when they've been together with their partner for a long time, and like the husband goes first or the wife goes first, is soon they go after pretty much because they just feel lonely. Even though they got some birds that do that same thing too. You know, you get some birds. I forget what they are. Maybe lovebirds.
Yeah,
you know, when one pass away, they just die almost too because they like, hey man, I ain't even got no reason to live no more.
So this is what. So this next thing is like it says you can find help. And this is an example of a person. You know what I'm saying? It says 49 sleeping pills in the cup. Shall I swallow them or not? A 28-year-old man in Switzerland asked himself. His wife and children had left him, and deep depression had set in. After swallowing the potion, though, he said to himself, "No, I don't want to die." Fortunately, he lived to tell a story. But I know we just talked about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like bro, it's now it would have been real bad if he took them pills and he thought about like, bro, because this is something, bro, you like this is real serious, bro. Like,
yeah.
So y'all have to realize that it ain't no coming back from this. I could see myself doing that. That's why if I ever was to even think about that, I wouldn't take no pills, bro.
Hell no.
I'm not about to sit here and have time to think about, you know what, wait a minute. I forgot to take my clothes to the cleaners.
Yeah, you finna die slow.
But for real, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, no. You got to do something that's going to be quick, bro. I'm not about to sit here and be like, because just like dude thought like, oh, wait a minute. I don't really want to do this.
Yeah, I changed my mind.
You know what I'm saying?
But you done took 42 pills. He said, what is how many?
27.
28.
28 pills.
I done put a lot on the story.
Damn.
28 pills, bro. Like
That's still a lot of pills, man.
Bro. And then it says this is what Alex Crosby of the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said regarding teenage suicide attempts. Talking to the young ones right now.
What do you say?
If you can restrict and fight it for even just a few hours, you can stop it.
Okay.
With intervention, there's a good chance that you can prevent going through a completed suicide. Y'all remember that because you can save somebody's life.
Oh, yeah.
You can save somebody's life, you know what I'm saying? Hundreds of suicidal people, you can help them to regain their will to live. They can be helped. It's something that can be cured with some kind of intervention. You know, a life can be saved.
That's right.
The help is needed, you know what I'm saying? And the way that you do that is, again, you have to face the underlying problem. You have to attack it. You have to attack it from the root, not just the symptoms. You have to attack it from the root.
All the way.
You know what I'm saying? Researchers say that 90% of those who committed suicide had psychiatric disorders or substance abuse problems. The greatest hope for preventing suicide in all age groups is the prevention of mental and addictive disorders. So that plays a major major role. Then it says, sadly, many who suffer from disorders are not inclined to seek help. Why not? Because there's a strong prejudice in society.
Hell, yes.
We tend to, like I was saying,
straight jacket, things of that nature.
You know, we some of us tend to look at people who are thinking suicide as weak-minded,
yep,
or cowards, as they say,
or crazy.
That's not what those people need at this time. They need somebody to be compassionate, to encourage them, to motivate them. Like, no, you're worth something.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's exactly what they need at that time. You know, because
pump them up.
You know, bro, that's exactly what they need. Even people who are vaguely aware that they are unwell hesitate to seek immediate treatment because they feel they're going to be looked at in some kind of way.
You're going to label them.
Or they're going to be looked at as weak. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people have problems with coming out. A lot of people have problems with just socializing with people, period.
Right.
So coming out about something that serious and deep is very, very challenging for them because they've never done it.
Because you've labeled
They've
yourself.
always stayed bottled up, and that's all they have is themselves. You know what I'm saying? So it's real. Even though some people don't let shame stop them. Some people like, look, I got a problem. I'm thinking about killing myself, and can you help me, please? That's the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
That is the right thing to do. Don't never feel embarrassed because ain't nobody on this earth perfect.
Nah, man.
I ain't met one yet.
Nah.
I ain't met one yet.
We got flaws.
And even these niggas that make themselves seem like they living the life. When they get off Instagram or TV, they going home to deal with problems.
And the bad females too.
It ain't nobody. I don't care what they say. Ain't nobody on this earth that ain't got problems. Even if they're rich. If they're rich, they got rich problems.
Yep.
If you're poor, you got poor problems. Bottom line.
Yep. That's well put. Now that sounds like a Shakespeare. But that's on the reels right there. I like that.
Shakespeare.
No, for real though, because if you're rich, you got rich problems. You broke, you got broke problems.
Yeah.
You know, a rich person problem may be the roads done broke down, man. I got to take an Uber to work. You know what I'm saying? That's and I'm not making fun of him because that may be his problem. You know what I'm saying? Which is minute to us. But you know what I'm saying? We like, damn, I wish I had that problem. You know what I'm saying?
And I like what it says here in this article. It says depression is likened to a common cold of the mind.
I like
Anybody can come down with it.
Yes.
Anybody. You know what I'm saying? But a remedy and recovery is possible.
Always, man. Pump
Always
somebody up full of positivity, man. Hey, look here, man. Have you ever put on a new? You could put on. Look, even try this sometime. If you're feeling bad right now, tomorrow, if somebody could loan you some money or whatever they could do. If you ever put on some brand new shoes and some outfits, new socks and stuff like that, and a shirt, man, you might feel like the man or the woman. You know what I'm saying? Try to even spruce yourself up. Go on and change your hairdo. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing things like how you doing regularly, flip it around. Go on and get yourself like, you know what? I'm gonna paint myself up like I did this car. Get yourself right, going out. Go with your girlfriends. Take a couple days off work. You know what I'm saying? Tell the boss I got to get myself together, man, because it's serious, man. You know, it sounds comical a little bit, but we care about y'all down here on the Truth Talk, man. That's why we talking this truth, man.
Real talk, real talk. You know, man, you know, this is real. And again, the reason why we talking about this because the blessings that we have been given to come across your airwaves and reach people. You have to realize what you have. Just like when I started hearing people telling us how our music changed, they were on the verge of committing suicide. I had people coming to me crying, like, "Yo, you don't understand," and I tell them, "Yes, I do. Trust me. That's why I'm standing here, listening to you tell me how you feel because I do." Or if I didn't understand, I'd have kept walking right past you.
That's what's happening. And
ignored you. But I understand. That's why I stopped all the time. You know what I'm saying? So this next part of the article, it says, for people that may be thinking these thoughts or going through depression or whatever, it says, talk to somebody. And I'm going to read this whole thing because it's the part where, you know, like we always do in our podcast.
Right.
Who's always involved? God is always involved.
Always.
Yeah. Because he's the one that gave us this blessing to come across these airwaves.
Man.
So if we don't respect him, this can be taken from us at any time.
Yep.
You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So it says you need to talk to somebody. When someone is alone with their problems, then they usually see it as dispropriate. Oh wait, damn! I can't get this word.
I think dispropriation.
No,
whatever. Disappearance? No.
No, they see it as
disproportionately.
Yeah, disproportionately. I couldn't get disproportionately. I couldn't get it out. They usually see it their problem as large and unsolvable.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They usually say so they isolate themselves.
Right.
To where they think nobody is going to understand me anyway, so why bother?
Yeah.
Why bother? Nobody's going to understand anyway, so they're going to look at me like I'm crazy. But, there's a scripture in the Bible, Proverbs 18:1. It says, one isolating himself will seek his own selfish longing. Against all practical wisdom, he will break forth. Listen to these words, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
It says, do not follow yourself to flounder alone in a sea of overwhelming personal problems.
Right.
If you can't solve them, you just can't solve them. If it's
God.
out of your hands, it's out of your hands. You can't pay the light bill.
I
can't pay the light bill. I'm not going.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
You know what?
We'll try next week when I get the money.
Check this out, Leatherface. That may call for a romantic time that you need to spend with your wife or your loved one. Light some candles.
Light some candles, baby.
You know what I'm saying? Throw that 99-cent store rug on the floor.
Make the best out of it.
Hey, go get you some of that Chablis for $4.99. Some Andre. Man,
You know
have a
what I'm
good
saying?
time.
It says, seek out somebody that you can trust. Seek out somebody that you can trust and who you can confide in. Now, you might say, I don't have nobody like that to confide in. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people feel that way. So, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people may avoid confiding in other people's because they don't want to reveal they don't want to, like we said, they don't want to reveal their weakness. They don't want to feel like this person looking at me like I'm weak.
They vulnerability.
Because telling somebody that you're thinking about committing suicide, that ain't no everyday conversation. Hey man, what's up with you today? Oh, I'm gonna go have a brew. What you about to do? Oh, I'm thinking about killing myself. That ain't how it goes down. That ain't how it goes down, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for people to come out and actually confide in people who you don't know how they gonna take it. You know what I'm saying?
Because some people will take your information and take it for a long ride, bro. And in fact, you take it back and use it against you, make you even feel worse about something you done confided into somebody. You know what I'm saying? Looking at you as my consigliere, and you done take my stuff and stab me with it. That's what a lot of people do with it. Whether it's a sickness, or illness, or something they shouldn't, a dark secret, whatever it is, and that can kind of propel people to, you know what, they know this about me and holding this on me for years. They kill themselves off that too.
So a few places you can turn for a hearing ear. There are a lot of suicide prevention centers or crisis hotlines. That are very reputable, where you can find a reputable medical doctor who deals with emotional problems. But a lot of experts realize that it's another source of help.
Yeah.
That I always lean on.
Shoot.
And I know you do too.
Hey, this is what he said to
That's
do with
God.
That's what he said to do.
Like he said,
I'll never leave you or forsake you.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to look for you have to search for the right places for the help that's going to benefit you. There is many outlets out there for people to reach out to.
Oh yeah.
I know you may not think your family care. Or just people in your life, but when you do that, think about all those people that's going to be at your funeral mourning you.
Missing you.
Why are they there? Because they cared. And you thought they didn't.
Yeah.
They actually cared. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm going to keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? Like, committing, and I think I said this before, but suicide is like a permanent solution for temporary problems.
That's well put right there too, G.
It's permanent. You don't come back.
Nah.
For something you don't know if you would have woke up the next day and that problem was completely alleviated.
Gone.
You don't know that. How do you know? I done been so depressed some days where I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
Fuck this music shit. I ain't doing it no more. Get a call the next day, nigga. You got bam, bam, bam. I was, oh, really?
Pack it up. Let's go.
Pack up your life. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, as bad as you think it is,
give it some time.
it may not be that bad. It
Give it some
just
time.
may not be that bad.
But it is a Leatherface. I do.
No, one thing. Suicide is like treating the common cold with an atomic bomb.
Damn. Yeah, that's true.
Real talk.
That's true.
It is. It's not that serious. You don't need all that. It's not that serious.
Yeah.
Life is a gift from God, y'all. Life is a serious gift from God. It says, at times life may seem more than a burden than a gift.
Mm-hmm.
It says, can you imagine, though, how would you feel if somebody gave you a valuable gift and that person just threw it and gave you a valuable gift? No. If you gave a valuable gift to somebody and that person just threw it away before they even tried to use it.
Right.
Oh, I don't need this.
Man, just
You
look
know what I'm
down
saying?
on it, huh?
Yeah. Imperfect humans, it says here, I'm reading y'all, this is real. Imperfect humans we have barely begun to use the gift of life. Barely.
Really though.
We ain't even sunk into it yet. I know some of y'all don't believe in the Bible. I do.
I do too.
And the Bible says that the life we live in right now is not even the real life.
That's right.
In God's eyes, it's not even the real life. It ain't.
It really ain't.
We trying to make it through this, right? We trying to make it through the devil's system.
Yep.
I'm trying to get to the finish line.
Oh yeah.
And I hope I see y'all there.
That's real, bro.
Talk. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. In the near future, life will be much fuller, richer, and happier. Trust me. It will be. And like I said, I follow God.
Period.
And God told me that he's going to wipe out every tear from our eyes. Death is going to be no more. Neither will mourning, nor outcry, nor pain
That's
be
right.
anymore. The former things have passed away.
Yes, yes.
So there is something to live for. Stick around and check it out. Stick around and check it out and see for yourself. Don't miss out on it. It's going to be something lovely.
Real lovely.
Something lovely. Something you've never seen before.
He said man can't imagine
Trust
the things that God got, you know what I'm saying, for the people that love him. You know what I'm saying?
Real talk.
That's what he say. Man can't imagine, G.
You can't.
But for the people that are I will say even before you use this number, pray about it too, because the national, you know what I'm saying, suicide hotline number is 1-800-273-8225.
Yes, indeed.
88255. I'm sorry about that. So you can call that any place as 1-800-273-8255. You know what I mean?
And y'all just remember this, because this is a way you can help somebody that seems suicidal.
Yeah.
If somebody confides in you, you should be very, very, very slow to even speak. Be a good listener. Listen to them first and foremost. Let them know that you're genuinely concerned about what they going through and what they got to say. Don't be that nigga, oh, nigga, you weak. Nigga, think about suicide, nigga, you weak, nigga.
Right.
All this you got to because that ain't what they need to hear right then. They need to hear somebody talking to them like they care. You need to let them say something. You need to let them know, bro, do you know if you killed yourself, me as your friend, I would be devastated. Your family would be your kids would be devastated. You can't do that. Don't do it.
Got to be a crutch for each other.
You know what I'm saying? This is what you have to do. You have to listen. You have to be the good listener.
Yep.
For real.
Yeah, don't be happy.
It says you have to acknowledge the reality of the pain or hopelessness that the person is undergoing. If you gently mention some particular changes that you notice about in their behavior, you may open up to them to get them to talk to you and confide about you on what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You need to listen and show empathy for these people. You have to. Stress to them how their life is important.
Meaningful.
Everybody has a meaning. Everybody has a meaning. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's basically what it is, man. This is a difficult topic to talk about, but it's serious at the same time, something that needs to be talked about. Because
Very
there's a lot of
necessary.
people out there probably listening right now, like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling how many people this has helped.
I hope
When
and
they hear
pray
this,
it do.
you know what I'm saying? So it's
The purpose.
it's very serious, man. And yeah, we done went over. Oh yeah, we are. This, you can tell this was a good one because we had
2 hours.
hour 30 minutes already.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? But
it's all G though.
it's all good, yo. This was a very
Informative
serious
show,
topic.
and I like this.
I thank y'all for tuning in. Vamp Squad in the building for sure. Appreciate y'all.
Words from my cat Gabriel.
The homie
Appreciate
Gabriel,
you.
you know what I'm saying? Appreciate your words. The example. Sis from the Bay called up here. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
It's all love.
I love her for that, man.
We appreciate y'all indulging with us. You know what I'm saying?
Fam
And,
Squad.
you know, I know a lot of people, like I'm gonna say, a lot of people don't believe in God, don't believe in the Bible. But I'm telling you, if you only read it
Just
for
try.
yourself and just try to understand it, going into it without a prejudice. All man wrote this.
Yeah.
Go into it without those prejudices and see how much it can benefit you.
Yeah.
Your mental especially.
Use your heart.
Because your mental and your heart is what you need to guard in this world.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the devil is after.
Yeah.
He's after your mind, but if he can't get your mind, he's going to tempt you through your heart. That's why that saying, follow your heart, is not always the best thing to do.
Nah.
Because what it say in the Bible, the heart is the most treacherous thing, but who could know it?
It's all your own little secret here.
Real talk. All my truth seekers, we thank y'all for tuning in to this another episode of the Truth Talks. Make sure y'all join us for the next episode, which we will be talking about
Can't wait, Face.
God's creation or man's evolution.
Yeah.
So make sure y'all tune in for that. Thank y'all for joining us. You know what I'm saying? And remember, if you know somebody that's going through depression or thinking about committing suicide, pull them to the side. Be gentle.
Talk to him.
Always make sure that when you coming at them, that whatever you're saying, the season with salt.
Yeah.
So you won't offend them.
That's right.
Make sure. You know what I'm saying? And be very delicate about the situation.
Yes, yes.
Like I said, I'm Krayzie Bone.
The Bum Keef G.
And we will see y'all on the next episode of Truth Talks. And remember, the truth is always talking.
You just gotta listen.
Shut up and listen.
Yeah.